Welcome everyone to Musings of an Artist's Mind. So this is where I just start drawing and see what turns up on the page. That's how I create. I don't plan anything. I just start drawing and see what turns up. And also I've had this vision of speaking while I'm drawing. And so this is the purpose of this YouTube channel, is to draw, to speak, and just see what turns up. No planning. I find that way, if I don't plan, that I get way more interesting things turn up. So this is the third time I've actually tried to do this, the power of 3. I'm not the most tech savvy person. YouTube won't let me verify my account at the moment, and so I can only post videos up to 15 minutes. So basically for me, because of the tech side, all my videos at the moment are going to be less than 15 minutes until I can get that sorted, which may be a good thing, may be a bad thing, but we've got to start somewhere. So the reason I'm doing this channel is I just have an idea. I just keep seeing it in my head. I watch people on YouTube and I've watched them grow their channels just by posting a couple of times a week on the things that interest them. And each time I watch them, I think, I could have quite a few subscribers by now if I just started. And it's one of those things, if you don't start, 15 years time, you're going to be exactly where you are now. So here we go. I've had the vision. Now I've got to follow through on that vision. One of the things we do as human beings is we get the vision and then we do nothing. We just dream about it. And it's quite interesting. If you just dream about it, nothing happens. You have to turn those dreams into action. And then things happen. The reason I plan no thing is that out of no thing, anything can happen. But if you plan something, you're always going to go on that line. Now, I hope the light there doesn't interfere, that you can see what I'm doing. The sun's come out. One thing I love about living in New Zealand is the sun comes out all the time. Even if you have a few days with no sun, then you get the sun. I grew up in a little island called Jersey, Channel Islands. Don't know if any of you knows it. And there, once the autumn starts and winter kicks in, you go for months without seeing the sun. One of the reasons I left there. I don't like being cold. Anyone else there who doesn't like the cold? But I started my life there for a reason, and I'm very glad I did. Life is interesting. While things are happening, you often hate it. But when you look back, sometimes it can be many years later, you see why it happened and you wouldn't change it for anything. And if there's people here who are listening to this, who are watching this, who say, yeah, but look at the life I had as a child when I was growing up. I was abused, I was assaulted. All I can say to you, it's made you what you are. It's probably given you a strength that some of the people around you will lack, especially if you've managed to take that upbringing and turn it for the good. And for those of you that are in the abuse still right now, change it. It's there for a reason. It's there to teach you a lesson. Maybe you've just got to pack up and have the guts to walk. Maybe you're completely in love with someone who's abusing you, in which case you might need to look at, is it worth the love for this abuse? Or is my lesson to realize that you can have a really strong connection to someone? Maybe your lesson is to realize that even with that connection, you don't have to take what you are taking. You have a choice. And sometimes our emotions can get in the way. We're so connected to someone that we feel that we've got to make this work. It's meant to be. All I can say is if you keep trying to make it work and you keep putting your boundaries down and they get trashed, move on. And if it's your children that are trashing your boundaries, remember, your job is to do your best as an adult to raise them. Now, if they get to 16 and they're abusing you and they're talking down to you and they're swearing at you and stuff like that, show them the door and just tell them with all my heart, I love you very much, but you're disrespecting me. There's the door. You're welcome back any time as soon as you respect me. You might be quite surprised at the difference that gets. One thing you'll find listening to these is there are silences. I'm not too sure how this talking while drawing will go, because sometimes I'm just concentrating on what I'm creating. My mind goes blank, completely blank. So for any of yous that are no good at meditating, this is a way of doing it. Just start creating. And if you say I'm not creative, that's all good. Get a paint by numbers kit. It's in the act of putting the paint on the paper that your mind slows down. I have a need to make things balanced. Now this one wasn't quite balanced and now I've got a big fat circle. So I need to make this one fatter to fit in with the other one. Art is a bit like life. Sometimes you need to learn when to leave it alone. But I've got another circle here. So when I'm drawing, I just kind of get an impression and I just put it on the page. I'm going to do some videos. It will be on another channel on how to draw like this. I call it how to draw what you don't see. I've got a technique that I used. It's something I invented myself to learn how to draw like this. I've always known that I'm supposed to be an artist. I always had the urge to create, but never had any idea on what to create. And okay, my battery is getting very low. So what I'm going to do is finish up here. And next one I will do some conversations, even though I don't plan things, about how to draw like this from no-thing, with no idea of what you're going to draw. Say what turns up on the page. Give your soul a voice, give your ancestors a voice, give your inner artist access to creation. So there we go. This is the design I'm working on. This is just about finished. I can feel when this bit here is completed, it will be done. So I hope you enjoyed this first, well actually the third time I've done this, but the first time I'll actually get to upload it, hopefully to YouTube. If you'd love to support me as an artist, please do. There'll be a link in the description. I've got some merchandise up on Redbubble. I also have a few originals, not many, up on Etsy, and if you'd just like to see some of my art, then I've got my designs going up on a board and Pinterest. So good to see you, and I'll speak to you all again soon.